I hope all of you already know that we have an outstanding, an incredible dean at UCLA. As I travel the country, when people hear that I serve on the UCLA Board of Trustees, the response is always the same. You work with Judy. She's amazing. Her energy, her courage, her drive, and her passion for UCLA, well, it's contagious. And I'm going to come back to a few of those words in a few minutes. I want to thank the Dean for inviting me here today and start out by congratulating all of you. This is a really special day. It's a major milestone for you and your families, and I'm honored to participate in this special occasion. Now, I want to tell you, I'm operating today under two guiding principles. First, this is your day, not mine. But trust me, I am thrilled to be here. I love UCLA, and this is one of my new career highlights. The second related principle on a day like this is a realization that I would have to be absolutely spellbinding to hold your attention for more than a few minutes. And I learned a long, long time ago, no one ever says, I wish he would have spoken longer. So I promise to keep it short and to the point. But I have thought long and hard about what I wanted to share with you today. I thought about sharing the lessons I've learned as a global executive. My wife, Martha, could teach a corporate and international relocation class. I thought about talking to you about the challenge, the excitement of moving from the consumer packaged good industry to a leading retailer. Going from selling and marketing great brands to the excitement of retail. I thought about talking about the Target transformation story, the transformation of this iconic American brand. Everyone loves to talk about Target, and when I do, I usually get a lot of feedback. Finally, I thought about talking about my own personal story, my own personal journey, how a poor kid from Queens, New York, goes on to become the CEO of a Fortune 30 company, one of the largest and most talked about retailers anywhere in the world. But after hours of debate, I decided to push all those topics aside and take a very different approach today. You're graduating from UCLA Anderson, a great school, one of the very best. You've already proven you can and will perform at a very high level in a competitive environment. So you're already off to a great start, and you have clear advantages in the marketplace. You've learned a lot over the last few years that will prepare you for the years to come. As you evaluate the different opportunities in front of you and the path you're going to travel, I thought I'd ask you a personal favor as you continue on this journey as business leaders. I'd like to challenge you to think about the importance of developing teams, spotting talent, embracing the importance of diversity, and importantly, thinking about how you're going to deliver results in the future through others. I can tell you that no matter where you work and what you choose to do, your career progress will depend on how you work with and develop the people around you. Now, initially, you'll all be judged mainly on your performance as individuals. Do you have the skills, the technical ability, the training, the expertise to do the work in front of you? Again, based on your experience here at Anderson, the answer is simple. It's absolutely. But the organizations will also want you to work on other things. Develop the insights, the versatility, the ability to attract, retain, and develop great talent, and they're going to want you to drive success through others. Now, of course, there's lots of ways to learn that, through books, leadership programs, team development, performance management. But above all, leadership requires engagement, patience, and often a little human touch, a lot of humility, empathy, and the ability to see strengths and sometimes hidden opportunities in people. Those are all really important leadership qualities. Organizational success, it's rarely linked to one person. And trust me, CEOs get more credit for results than they deserve. It takes a team to drive performance, particularly in large organizations where there are so many terrifically talented and ambitious people. In that kind of dynamic, you won't get far by commanding. You'll get far by inspiring and by opening doors for those around you. Judy talked about some recent articles that have been written, and someone recently described me as a self-made man. And I'll tell you today, that could not be further from the truth. I can tell you my career success is a result of upwards of 1 million people that I've worked with over the years. And each one of them has contributed to my success and the success of companies I've led. And they've come from a wide range of backgrounds and diverse cultures. They weren't all minted in management schools or graduates of outstanding programs like Anderson. I thought I'd tell you a story. One of the stories that we recently shared on our Target blog. It's a story about a young kid who left India for America at the age of 18. He left with $20 in his pocket when he left his family home and got on a plane for San Francisco. He spoke no English. He knew he had to do two things and do them really quickly: earn some money and learn the language. So when he got here, he started looking for entry-level jobs in retail. Now, if you're sitting here from an elite school, you're probably saying, well, he was looking for opportunities that were consistent with his experience and his skill level. But there's a lot more to that story. He had very specific goals and some really big dreams. He wanted to work where he'd have to interact with the public every day. Why? Because he knew that would force him to learn the language and learn it really fast. And because he was so clear in his purpose, he was able to withstand rejection day after day, time after time. But day after day, he showed up, looking for any type of part-time job. And he kept going back until he landed a job as a cart attendant at Target. So back then, did our store HR manager know we were hiring a future company executive? Did we know that that young man, Samir Shah, would get his college degree and rise to become the senior vice president of our Northeast region, overseeing a $20 billion segment of our business? I'd like to tell you, at that kind of foresight, Samir's journey is a story of passion, persistence, clear purpose, and above all, great courage. They all count. They're part of a package that I've heard Coach K describe as having it. Those words that I used earlier to describe Dean Olian. And those factors sometimes go way beyond talent. Energy is so important. Curiosity, courage, being humble, having the ability to learn and evolve. Those characteristics will help you win. Now, you might be saying, Brian, Coach K, Duke, at a UCLA commencement? Well, I can tell you, I am a lifelong student and fan of Coach Wooden. And I know he'd agree. Both coaches ran or run organizations rooted in purpose, values, and integrity. They could tell when someone had it, like Samir. And your goals as leaders should first to be making sure you have it, that kind of characteristic that will define you going forward. Then I'd ask you to please look around the corners. Find it in others. Find them, open doors for them, and importantly, watch them run through it. Finding talent, building talented teams, teams that learn, innovate, create inclusive work environments, and win together. Well, I can tell you, that's the most important part and the most fulfilling part of being leaders. It allows you to help shape individuals' lives. So now for the class of 2015, it's your turn. If I were sitting in your chair, I'd be really eager to get out there and start earning. But as you continue on your leadership journey, I challenge you to broaden that purpose just a little, like Samir. I'd ask you to think about both earn and learn, because they're very, very important. The learning part is critical. You have to be career students. It doesn't stop when you leave Anderson. I hope for all of you, it just begins. I know that your time here will open up doors. And embracing purpose and values and integrity will open up even more doors. And I know that because you now have the power to open doors, but you also have the responsibility to do so. I hope going forward, as you advance your career, you open up many doors. And I hope you would inspire others to do the same. I want to congratulate you on this very special day. It's a major achievement. I want to thank the Dean and UCLA for inviting me here to share it with you. Thank you and congratulations.